Town Green is a firm that was just formed about a year and a half ago. And historically we're an architecture and urban design firm, but I noticed a need for the climate action planning as the the CARB started issuing these grants. We saw that there was a need for a firm to go out to perform these plans, and so we teamed up with HDR to get the Hayward Climate Action Plan, and teamed up with ESA to go after the Martinez Climate Action Plan, which we won and were contracted to do. I don't know how detailed you want me to get with these plans and what we actually did with the climate action planning. But I think when we started Town Green, we were a little hesitant to get into climate action planning because of all the greenwashing that was kind of going on. And we saw that some of these grants that were given out to the Bay Area cities were $30,000, $40,000 grants, which to do an adequate climate action plan is really not much at all. And so we got through the Hayward and Martinez climate action plans, and I have the Hayward climate action plan here if you would like to look at it. But we used fairly conservative targets for our greenhouse gas emissions reductions, and because of the small amount of funding, it was really difficult to get too in depth with any of the actual actions and strategies, and so and to quantify these actions and strategies. There's just not enough money in these grants that were given out. Some of them were matched by funds at the cities, but there just really wasn't enough funding to get into the details of how much benefit these plans are actually going to do. So what I really enjoy talking about is a program that we approached the Department of Conservation with called the Emerald Cities Program, which is a program to address cities on a comprehensive scale and using state, federal, and local funding to create climate action plans that actually do address these cities on a comprehensive scale and address the benefits on a comprehensive scale. So in Hayward and Martinez, we really could only address transportation, solid waste, some land development issues, a bit of water, but that was about it. Some one or two kind of low-hanging fruit issues for the energy conservation, but really couldn't get into depth. So with the Emerald Cities program, we're hoping to address transportation, circulation, solid waste, wastewater, agriculture, land development, energy, and the most important one, which we couldn't touch because of budget and other issues in Hayward Martinez, was economy. We realized that if we could come up with these plans, the Hayward Climate Action Plan is actually quite significant, but without the economic basis, as you mentioned, or I mentioned, you agreed, it is really difficult to get any support from the community and the city. So with the Emerald Cities program, we approached the Department of Conservation. They said it's a great idea, and they began looking for funding and said, we think Tracy is probably a great target for our first pilot project. They were working in Tracy already, and on I think a multifamily recycling grant that they had already awarded Tracy. And so we approached Tracy. Tracy said, yeah, we would love to work with you guys. And we found funding through another multifamily recycling grant, a state grant, which was then frozen after, I think, a few weeks after we were awarded the grant, so we lost funding for another 6 or 8 months. And then have found funding recently through an EECBG grant and the matching funds from the city. So we're moving forward with Tracy at the moment. We have a website up. Actually, it's going live tomorrow. That will involve, that will be a major part of the community participation. The website is www.emeraldtracy.org. So please visit it and give us any feedback. But the scope of the Tracy project is really to do 3 things. One, to analyze where Tracy is in their sustainability coefficient, is what we're calling it. 2, to get public feedback on the measures and strategies that the people within the city would like to see. And 3, to create a climate action. Well, we're calling it, not calling it a climate action plan, we're calling it the Emerald Tracy plan, but to create a more comprehensive climate action plan for the city to implement. So we're now looking for other cities that are interested in this program. It's going to, as soon as it gets funding, will become the Emerald California program, because right now the Emerald Cities is just a pilot that the state is calling it. But it was interesting when you were mentioning that some of the funding sources were going to be difficult to find. Through this program, we have submitted a $65 million grant that will be used for, well, to create plans, climate action plans, and more comprehensive plans that could be used by cities all around California, not just here in the Bay Area. So I think that maybe as we find out more about that grant application and how it's awarded, we can possibly work together to find ways to fund some of those more comprehensive plans. Yeah, that's our idea for now. We are looking for other cities that are interested in this program. The Central Valley has been kind of a target of ours because we realize that the Bay Area is a little, well, the Bay Area is well funded. Most of the cities are fairly well funded and have more political will. Imagine Modesto, Fresno, some of the other Central Valley cities, the Southern California cities that may not, some don't even agree that climate change is happening or that we need to do anything about it. And they have no money, so we're trying to go into these cities and figure out how to change the political will, change some of the local ideas about climate action, and to fund the programs. So if anybody has any ideas of cities around the state that may be interested in participating in this, please let us know.
I just need a clarification. You said that if a city has already, like Martinez, already done a climate action plan, this can supplement it and go deeper into it. So,
well, we haven't run into that issue yet, but I think because of the climate action plan's limitations from what we've seen from the climate action plans we've seen and been part of, we would absolutely take that into consideration, not only supplementing but finding funding for the programs and the implementation of the existing plan and whatever recommendations we might find through this plan.
One more question?
No.